And yes, that is a nuclear power plant you see in the distance. So here we are, nuclear power plant here, ocean here. You know, pedestrian walkway right here, where I am. Now, we're still here in this crazy, crazy high tide. Wow, that's a big old tree that came out of nowhere. One of my favorite stories about the Fatbike has to do with the nuclear power plant, not for the reason you might think. A lot of sensitivity to activity around a nuclear power plant nowadays. One day I was riding back in the parking lot I just got out of, and some crazy guy runs up to me and says, "It's you!" And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know you. He says, "Dude, I've seen you on this bike all this time. I recognize the bike. I recognize you. I wanted to talk to you." And I still don't know this guy. He says, "You're the guy that rides down across the nuclear power plant, right?" I go, "Yeah." So I'm going to interrupt my story with a little bridge here. This is what happens. There's a little discharge of water out of the plant. I don't think there is any today. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. I'm going to time it. Yeah, there we go. Right across our little bridge. Yeah, I'm missing out. I'm actually using the handrail. What you gotta do is have the right focus. You don't need to do that. So that's it. That's the warning. Don't go down in the algae-filled tunnel. So that was kind of nice, actually. Hopefully it didn't get the lens all wet. So this guy says, "Hey, you're the guy that rides a bike with a big tire across the nuclear power plant." I'm going to interrupt myself again. It is not like this. I've never ridden with a tide, with a surf coming over the barrier like this before. This is kind of cool and crazy. Always something different. And I said, "Yeah, I do ride my fat bike across the nuke plant. Yeah, toxic sludge. Look at it right there." And he says, "Yeah." He says, I monitor the cameras around the nuclear power plant. And every time you ride across that bridge, that walkway, there's someone on a camera somewhere watching you. And I'm one of those guys. So sure enough, if you look along here, there's a camera. There's 3 cameras right here. As you ride along, there's 3 more cameras. There's cameras all over the place along here. And yeah, I've watched you go across the front of the nuclear power plant a zillion times. I wanted to meet you. So he said hi and kind of freaked me out a little bit. But it's just one of the cool things that happen when you ride a bike like this. Now, due to high tide, this is not rideable. I've come here before many times when this depends on the shifting rocks. And these rocks do shift all over the place. And it is often rideable. Believe it or not, there's enough activity around, surf activity, to move these rocks. So I'm going to have to push around this stuff this time. Not really all that hard. So here we are on the other side of the nuclear power plant on these beautiful cliffs, sandstone cliffs. Basically we're going to be riding alongside of something like this for hours. You can see it go into the distance. I don't know about hours, but for a long time. Down and back. Alright, this is trouble. There. You might not have been able to see that surf crash